7071. Class is lower, square footage is lower, indicated value of 574. Our median value for sales comparison. Sandpiper, so for 491, class is lower.
Hello?
Hold on,
Hello?
sir. I'm texting them right now.
Are you there?
We are now.
Yeah,
Okay, we had some sort of technical difficulty with our recording. Are we back?
We're back.
Okay. Sorry about that, Ricky.
That's okay, yeah. It's like every day.
Are you there? Yes, we're there.
yeah.
Okay, we had some sort of technical difficulty with our recording. Are we back?
We're back.
Okay.
Just,
Sorry about that, Ricky.
That's okay, yeah.
there was no,
Every day.
Yes, we're there. Okay, we had some sort of technical difficulty with our recording.
The feedback
Are
is
we
horrible.
back?
I'm offline again.
I know, sir, I am too. Hold on.
He needs to not interrupt.
Okay, well, he wasn't interrupting. The problem was our end. Are you there, Mr. Eggery? Yes, sir.
Yes, I am.
Okay,
Yes, I
sorry. We had some sort of technical difficulty with our equipment here. So if you can hear us, we will continue.
Okay.
Yes, we can hear you.
All right.
Okay, go ahead, Rick.
We ended with talking about a median value on a sales comparison grid of 557. On the equity grid, the median value is 522. We have comps here where first comp is a 5, second comp is a class 5, square footage are really close, effective age is kind of bouncing around, but the adjustments aren't too bad. The net adjustments don't look too bad. One of them's on Luau, one of them's on Bahama. Very little land adjustments. It was a 546 on one, a 481 on the other. Comps 3 and 4 from an equity approach are also class 5s. Square footage looks good. Again, effective age is kind of moving around. A lot of the homes in Key Allegro have had effective age changes that are larger than 10 years, and the subject property only has had a 10-year effective age change. So it's hard for us to get that exact for this equity grid, but it comes out with an equity value of 522,971. That's all I have.
Okay.
All right, sir,
Yes.
you now have 2 minutes to cross-examine, and then you have 5 minutes for your presentation.
I'm not going to cross-examine. I mean, I could argue with the some of the comps that have been quoted, but that really is academic at this point. So when you're ready, I'll make my presentation, then we'll go.
We're ready now.
We're ready now.
Okay. I only have two issues. First of all, I have two lots that are vacant next to me, 55 Nassau and 57 Nassau. The 55 Nassau lot sold for just over $200,000 not 18 months ago, or not even that. It sold right after in the first quarter of 2019. The house next to me is was owned by Dr. Bruce before it was destroyed in the storm. He has been trying to sell that lot or decide what he was going to do with that lot, but he's yet to be able to get an offer of $300,000 for the lot. That tells me that the lot is at $300,000 for me is overpriced. I know that you're looking at the overall value, but those lots right now, from a marketability standpoint, don't come close to $298,000. The second piece is just something that I have a nuisance across the canal from me right now in John Orr's house. I have an unlicensed marined fueling tank. I have jet skis stored, boat trailers stored, overgrown trees. It is an absolute nuisance to my house at this point, and it is devaluing my house. It is not in the Key Allegra Homeowners Association. The city of Rockport will do nothing about it. The county of Aransas will do nothing about it. And so I'm stuck with it, and it is devaluing my property. And those are the two issues that I have concerning this appraisal. Last year I came in, spoke with a gentleman in a one-on-one conversation, and we were able to come to he looked it up on the Google Earth. He saw exactly what I was talking about. It has not improved since then, and gave me an adjustment. That was my sole purpose of protesting this appraisal this year. And you might say, well, it's only $50,000 difference that we're raising it, but it's a matter of principle for me. And as I said in my statement that I sent in, I did what you're doing right now for 7 years, working with appraisal boards in terms of being the mayor of a city. And I know that something like what I'm having to put up with is not anything you can do anything about, but it definitely has an impact on the value of my property. And that's really all I have to say about it.
The district is in favor of the property owner's opinion of $250,000 for the land, bringing the value to $459,530. I think that in most accounts, I think he's right. Essentially, that land may be worth more than $250,000. It may be worth $275,000, but at this point, who really cares? I mean, there's a $200,000 sale next to Dr. Bruce. It is the lowest sale, but you can do the whole thing where you throw out the lowest and the highest, but I think it's relevant. I think the thing across the street not being in the homeowners association is annoying, and that there's very little that anybody can do about it. So I think I just agree with his side. If we took the land to $250,000, the value would be $459,530. And that's all I have to say.
Okay.
Mr. Essery,
Yes.
did you hear what the appraisal district just produced?
I did, and I would be agreeable to that.
You would?
All right, so I
Yes.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You said you would be agreeable, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
That
so
is a.
I make a
affirmative.
motion on account number 247. Okay, good. Thank you. I make a motion on account number 24721, and addressing the incorrect appraised market value and the appraisal ratio exceeding the median level of the appraisal, whose 2020 current value is $507,650, that we lower that to $459,530. And I believe this addresses the situation as far as the land value.
The market and the equity.
I said that at the beginning, and the market and the equity.
Sorry, I didn't hear. That's good.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Mr. Essery, you'll be getting a paperwork packet from the appraisal district that has paperwork soon. And we appreciate your phoning in and your participation.
Listen, I appreciate your taking this matter under advisement, and I will fill out the survey. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Goodbye.
Aye.
Thank you, Ray.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was kind of in a quandary. It was like, what will we do here?
yeah. Sometimes it's just necessary for things to come back here, and we'll solve them when they get in here.
Okay, let me go get Charlie and he can.
This is going to be super slow. I just so you know, as I'm doing it, I keep getting a thing crossing the screen that says your internet connection is
Yeah.
unstable, and
Yeah.
then it won't let me go forward.
If
I'm
you
just
get
letting
to-
you know it's
If you
going
get
slow.
to a point, Scott, where it's just too bad, what you can do is just, you can basically take the minutes and we can solve it all afterwards if necessary.
Yeah, I just was just making notes on this and
Yeah.
trying to like get it in, and I can do it quickly. I can get the rest of this in.
Yeah, no problem.
So the code, and I'm just not even, so, like on
There's
the,
some kind of imaginary line, that runs through that part of Keel Lake Road. That breaks that part of Keel Lake Road.
oh yeah, the end of Jamaica where those things
Yeah.
are, that's it. And it's amazing to me that nothing
So it keeps like
ever,
flipping back and
like
forth.
nobody ever,
Like
but
a
that's
phone
how it was
number?
deeded at the beginning.
I know, but
When they
one
talk,
of the
it does
amazing
that.
parts of it
I don't know if there's
is
anything
like,
else we can do about that.
Well, I
it seems
texted
like the
you,
city of
amen, so
Rockport
we'll see. if he said.
would be really interested in.
It's okay. I'm just trying to get all the stuff in here
Understood.
Responsibility.
You can
Yeah.
you can print what you need.
Everything they could to say, Keel Lake Road, this is yours, But there are places, like in the country club.
The same deal?
Well, when you drive into the country club.
Okay,
and
thanks.
you turn down the road, St. Andrews,
I live on St.
there's a road called Inverary.
Inverary,
Well, that's not the country club,
right.
and neither are those things at the end of it.
No, it's any of
Those
the places.
little
not
like
either.
townhouses?
Yeah, none of that's country club. So, you run into these kind of things.
This is case number 795, count number 23122.
Zoom?
Yes, over the phone.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, whenever you're ready, I can admit them.
Go ahead.
Mr. Locklear?
Oh, yes.
Good morning. This is Charlie Powers, Appraisal
Oh, good
Review Board.
Yes, sir.
How are you this morning?
Oh, we are good. Y'all doing okay this morning?
Oh, pretty good. I'll tell you what, we got some administrivia to go through, so just kind of follow along with us and listen in. We're opening a hearing on protest number 2020-795 account number 23122. This hearing is being recorded. We are the Appraisal Review Board that will be hearing your protest today. At the table are myself, Charlie Powers, Cindy Duck, Kathy Hoffman, Robert Dayton, and Ramona LeBlanc.
Yep, that's me.
Thank you.
Morning, Charlie.
Morning. We do not work with the appraisal district. We are appointed to perform an independent review of your protest. The Comptroller's Office provides an electronic survey for you to offer feedback about your experience today that may be accessed at the appraisal district office or online at surveymonkey.com/r/survey-ARB. The survey is voluntary. You also have the right to appeal our decision. The appeal information will be provided to you with our determination. In accordance with Tax Code Section 4145H, all written material that has not been provided must be provided at this time. Mr. Locklear. Mr. Locklear,
Yes,
I'm assuming that you have all of your evidence in hand. Is that correct?
You're breaking up.
I'm getting an echo.
yeah, we're getting a little
We can
background.
try him on this phone.
Okay, let's
We can,
It just-
try again. Is all of your evidence been turned in?
Yes, that's all we had for the moment. Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. ARB members who are considering your protest have not communicated with anyone about the protest and are signing affidavits to that effect. And I'll begin. I, Charles Powers, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66.
I, Kathy Hoffman, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66.
I, Cindy Duck, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F.
I, Robert Dayton, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F.
I, Ramona LeBlanc, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F, and I'm signing to that effect, and I'm physically located in Texas.
and I, Valerie Smith, and the notary public who is witnessing Ms. LeBlanc's signature via Zoom, and I'm also physically located in Texas.
All testimony from all witnesses must be given under oath. Sir, I'm assuming, Mr. Locklear?
Yes,
Mr. Locklear?
yes, sir.
I'm assuming that you are under oath as a result of signing the affidavit. You understand?
Yes, sir. Uh-huh.
You're, okay, very good. Do you hold a Texas appraiser's license?
No, I do not.
Thank you. Do you have at your, on hand the hearing procedures times? If you chart this
Yes.
page 5 in your,
Yes, yes, sir, I do.
Expressly do solemnly swear.
okay, hold on.
Or affirm that the testimony I shall present to the appraisal will be one for the Aransas County District Straight.
You see that there are two starting, protester presentation or district presentation. Do you want the district to go first, or you like to go first?
You wanna go first? Oh, y'all go first, please.
Okay, now, who signed the affidavit?
I can't get, my stuff won't come up.
Hold on, I'll tell you. Jay Locklear. Jay Locklear. signed that.
Okay. Mr. Locklear?
Yes,
Mr. Locklear?
yes, sir.
I have to bring up something, because you are the one who signed the affidavit. You are the only one that can speak during the
Oh,
hearing,
okay.
okay?
Yes, sir, I understand.
It's just the law. Okay,
It finally did. I had to go back out, come back in.
Okay, so district is gonna go first. The notice of protest that was filed The notice of protest that was filed for value is unequal compared with other properties. The owner's affidavit of evidence has other boxes checked. But as we've discussed before, the route that we have to honor is the notice of protest that was filed, which is an equity value is unequal compared with other properties.
Mr. Locklear, do you understand what he just said?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
So this property is located on Kingfish Drive in Holiday Beach. It is not a wet property. You'll notice the land value is a little less than 10,000. However, it is in a neighborhood in a subdivision adjustment area. If you look at the property card, you'll notice there are 2 adjustments. They are hefty. This property is being adjusted upwards 50%, essentially. So the reason for that is cell activity in this area goes beyond reasonable thinking, and it just gets really high over here. I'm not going to discuss sales. If you guys have questions about that, we can talk about it. I'm going to go straight to the equity grid. Subject here, the equity grid is 303 Kingfish Drive. Comp number 1 is 84 West Castle Oak Lane, also a dry property. Square footage is pretty close to the same. Square class is the same. Effective year is essentially the same. Gives an indicated value of $247,695. Dry property again at 364 West Misty Oak Lane. Class is a little bit lower from a 5 to a 4+. Square footage is bigger and years are older. Gives an indicated value of $258,403. Both of them have minor net adjustments. The first one was $4,000. The second one was about $18,000. And comp number 3, 226 West Oak Lane. 4 FB plus, 1,360 square feet, 2005. So it's a little older, less class, a little larger. Net adjustment is $7,000. Median, or that indicated value there is $259. The median equity value for the whole thing is $258,403. Selecting comp number 2. If you look at the photos there, you'll notice that these houses were selected. We were able to select house on stilts, where you can park underneath type of homes. I think that's it. That's all I got.
Sir,
Yes.
you have 2 minutes to cross-examine, and then you have 5 minutes to present.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the houses that were listed, they're not even within our neighborhood. We live on a street. There's only like 2 houses that are, except on the canals. The canal lots are worth more than the houses on the canals, but they're showing us on the canal, which we are not on a canal. And these houses that was mentioned that were sent to us were on the equity grid. They're, I don't know how much they were listed for or anything, but if they sold for that much, they probably sold for what they were actually worth. A lot of them were. So, but just not being close to our neighborhood, that's my concern though, on where all these other properties were listed on the equity grid.
I can talk about that. We're in the middle of that, aren't we?
He hasn't even started, he's at
Okay,
his
so he's in his
cross-exam.
cross. So the answer to that is basically this. The district, if you look there at that, the road that he's on, he's absolutely right. He's on dry land in the midst of wet properties. Most of the houses there are canal front. Here's the reality, is the appraisal district could have two ways to go. It could have chose to use his area and use comps that were wet and had a $40,000 land discrepancy, or we could put houses in the dry area. He's dry, so we comped dry. It's one way or the other. That's you know.
These houses that you use as comps are at least in the same general area.
Yeah, they're right there. They're
So-
just to the east of that area.
Mr. Locklear,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Lock. Okay. We're in your
Yes.
5-minute presentation time.
Okay.
Okay, with the appraisal district showing us where that other properties are that they used in the equity grid during your time?
Uh-huh.
Or did you have something else to present?
Yeah, the presentation, I sent in some pictures and some appraised values of some property within a block of us, or 2 blocks, that are, pretty comparable to what ours is. Like on the, there's one on our street that's, it's at 268 Kingfish, which is west of us. And it's a, the living area is similar to ours. It's 1,050 square feet, and the appraisal value in it is 130. And we have another one that's almost right beside us. They've got hurricane damage, and this is our view. It's our view. It's at 294 Kingfish Drive, and that's our view every day of this house next to us. They started working on it, then they quit. It's valued right now at the appraisal for 2020 is $68,000. Then we have on the street over onto Sailfish Drive. We can see all these houses from our house, because there's hardly not anybody in between us. There's one at 241 Sailfish Drive, which is the 2020 appraisal is $195.30. And we have another one at 230 Sailfish Drive, which the appraisal on it is $115,290. And the next one to it is 226 Sailfish Drive, and it's $102,600. And the one beside it is at 223 Sailfish Drive, and the 2020 appraisal on it is $135,410. And there's another one right beside that one. It's 222 Sailfish Drive, and the appraisal is $136,50.
No. Scott, I'm not able to see any pictures that I want
Okay,
on our iPads.
everything on here is not this problem.
Okay.
I mean,
But
this is.
We are not able to see any pictures except for that one right there. We don't have those.
Okay. Do you have something different, Ray?
Yeah.
Mr. Locklear, hold on a second.
Oh, okay.
Hold on one second.
Like,
Can you go into images?
Yeah, the way I
what I
got
did
it
is
to
I
do
put
that.
this and you.
back out. I had the same problem. Okay, I went back out, then I came back in. Okay, and then is he the sixth? No, he's 795. 30. Okay, 795. Then here's,
Mr. Locklear,
Yes, sir.
let me ask you a question
Yeah.
real quick. What's your opinion of value?
Or what was that, our opinion of the value?
Yes, sir. What's your opinion of value?
I think it should be around, 199 to 205.
What do we have on it?
255.
Okay, Mr. Locklear,
Yes, sir.
can you? Yeah. I don't like 205, but I like 215. Can you live with 215?
215? Yeah, I believe so, yeah. Because,
Hang tight for a second. We're going to work towards that end.
okay, I appreciate it.
So that is a yes, the 215, you do accept that number, right?
Yes, I do. Correct.
So can I go ahead and do my motion, Greg? Absolutely. Okay, I make a motion that on account number 23122, and taking into consideration the appraisal ratio exceeding the median level of the appraisal, that the 2020 value that the appraisal district had on it of $255,060 be lowered to a value of $215,000 for 2020. So we are changing the 2020 value to 215,000, and that would, but would it go against the land or just?
No.
Just the total value, okay, and that's against the total value. So,
All in favor?
Aye. Ramona,
Okay.
could you hear what was going on?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Mr. Locklear, thank you very much for participating. You'll get a document
All right.
in the mail.
Okay, we sure do appreciate y'all's help on this matter.
Thank you, sir.
All right,
Thank you
y'all
so
have a great
much.
Fourth- Y'all have a great 4th of July.
Thank you, you too.
Fill out
Okay.
the survey.
Okay, we will, for sure. Survey will be filled out.
Thank you.
Probably, let's see if we can't get 90% again.
Is that it now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, thank y'all very much.
Are we off recorder?
No.
appraisal district?
Here's what I found.
Ramona in first here.
She should be in.
No, she's not.
All right, let me tell her.
Ramona, are you there?
Go back in. Go back in.
Ramona, are you there?
Did I need
Yes, I am.
We're good. Okay, I believe is going to be a YouTube someone on. Oh, sorry, someone on Zoom
video? Yeah.
because it shows the.
Did you open the video?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you open that?
It's
Yep.
open.
And I'm going to admit it says Brandon Barkus on here.
Make sure you spotlight.
Who is he?
Because that's not a family on our papers.
Okay, well.
Yeah.
Arian.
Sir?
Sir, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Could we have your name, please?
Brandon Barkus.
Is the property under a different name?
It should be Jude Philippone.
Okay, got it. Gotcha. Okay.
Do we have a paper for him? An agent's form?
Yeah, it would be the affidavit.
Sure did. We got it.
Property ID.
Is 24928. It is number 866.
Excuse me.
Ramona has her affidavit. Ramona,
What?
do you have your affidavit?
For me?
Do you have your affidavit?
For me? Yes.
Okay. Just wanted to be sure before I started.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
we're opening a hearing on protest number 2020-866, account 24928. And your name, sir, was what?
Brandon Barkus.
Brandon. Okay, Brandon, we need to go through some administrivia. Just follow along with us if you would, please.
Okay.
Hearing is being recorded. Where the appraisal review board will be hearing your protest today. At the table is myself, Charlie Powers, Cindy Duck, Kathy Hoffman, Robert Dayton, and Ramona LeBlanc is on by Zoom. We do not work for the appraisal district. We are appointed to perform an independent review of your protest. The comptroller's office provides an electronic survey for you to offer feedback about your experience today that may be accessed at the appraisal district office or online at surveymonkey.com/r/survey-ARB. Survey is voluntary. You also have the right to appeal our decision. Appeal information will be provided to you with our determination. In accordance with Tax Code Section 4145, all written material that has not been provided must be provided at this time. I'm going under the assumption that all of your evidence has been provided. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. I believe so.
Okay. ARB members who are considering your protest have not communicated with anybody about the protest and are signing affidavits to that effect. I'll begin with I, Charles Powers, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F.
I, Kathy Hoffman, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F.
I, Cindy Duck, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F.
I, Robert Dayton, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F.
I, Ramona LeBlanc, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F, and I'm signing to that effect. And I'm physically located in Texas.
I'm Valerie Smith. I am the notary public witnessing Ms. LeBlanc's signature via Zoom, and I am physically located in Texas.
All testimony from all witnesses must be given under oath. I'm assuming, sir, that you are under oath as a result of signing the affidavit. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I already pressed swear from the testimony I shall present to the appraisal board for the Aransas County Appraisal District.
Sir, do you hold a appraiser's license?
I'm a senior property tax consultant, but I don't have an appraiser's license.
You don't have an appraiser's license. Do you have at your hand the hearing procedure times chart?
I'm sorry?
There's a document that was sent out from the district. That page 5, I believe it is a hearing procedures.
Oh, yes, sir. I've read it and I'm familiar.
Okay, good. That's what we're going to follow throughout the procedure. Now, would you like to speak first, or would you like the district to go first?
I'd like the district to go first, please.
All right.
Great. Go ahead and pull the picto up, Scott, so we can get ourselves associated with that here. Me and Key Allegro on Pelican. 6 Pelican. Is that it? That's it. So we have a 6 FB on 6 Pelican, Key Allegro Unit 3. There are no neighborhood or subdivision adjustments, so this thing's just calculating straight out of the system. It is a 2018 build. There's no depreciation in the MA or the contributory items. There's a little bit of depreciation on the swimming pool, the boat lift, and the dock. Those start depreciating on a little bit earlier schedule. So we got a value of $643,710. On the protest, we have an incorrect appraised market value checked, and we have value is unequal compared with other properties. So we'll go to a sales grid here. Comp number 1 is on Bahama, 7 Bahama, sold for $725 in October of 19. It's also a 6 FB. It's larger and it's older. So there's some adjustments being made with a net adjustment of about $8,000. Indicated value $733. Sell on Flamingo, and also in October of 19, sold for $849. 6 FB, much larger home. 2010 effective age. Adjustments come out to $816. Got here, we've got one more comp on the sales grid. 19 Curlew, sold for $594, also in October of 19. 5 SS Plus on this one. Land value is the same here. Square footage is pretty close. Effective age is a little off. Gives an indicated value of $678,965. Median value on this one is $733,214. Okay, on the equity grid. So everybody here knows what an equity grid is. Getting into it quickly here. Comp number 1 is 13 Luau. It's a 6 FB, a little bit larger, 400 square feet larger, same year. Gives an indicated value of $659. 7 Bahama, comp number 2, 6 FB, quite a bit larger, a little bit older. Indicated value of $674, $604. And 2 more comps, it looks like, to go here. No, 3 more comps on the equity grid. So 40 Curlew, 6 FB minus. Square footage is pretty close. Effective age is quite a bit different. Gives an indicated value of $632. 1841 Bayshore, 6 FB minus. Little bit larger. Effective age is pretty close on this one. Indicated value of $696. And lastly, comp number 5 is 1 Pelican, few houses down, 5 FB. Square footage is pretty close. Effective age is off a bit, 17 years, 17,600 there on the adjustment. Land value looks a little bit different. I'm going to make the assumption, I haven't looked, but there might be an end of canal adjustment on this land. Number 1, Pelican may be at the very end of, meaning the cul-de-sac part of the canal. Adjusted value is 645. Median equity for these is 659, 337. That's all I have.
Okay, so, Mr. Barthakis,
Yes, ma'am.
you have 2 minutes to cross-examine, and then you'll have 5 minutes to present.
Okay, I guess I don't have anything to cross-examine on.
Okay,
I'll just hop into the presentation. So you'll see here the value history on, oh, wait, you want me to wait till it gets up on the screen? Yes, on page 2 is just the value history. Page 3, well, go ahead and skip to page 4, please. There we go. That's a UNE comparable property tax analysis, which is adjusted. So we also took 5 properties in the same neighborhood that were relatively new builds. And you can see in the 3rd column there, the subject is 2,169 square feet. These, they're relatively close in square footage. D is 1,936. You'll see that the land values are pretty consistent. B and C are the exact same land values. The market value, however, or the notice value, you see are a bit different. And then when you adjust it in the last column there, the subject is on for $296.78 a square foot. And that's for the improvements. And the median C is $249.84 a square foot, bringing that valuation adjusted to $541,903. On the next page is basically the back end math for the adjustments that were made. So there were slight adjustments made for the improvements adjustments per square foot. And then one of them, C, received a significant age adjustment just due to the fact that it was built in 2003, where the other ones were relatively new. So we bumped that one up significantly. And that came out to the median of 541. Excuse me. Next page is the map, just showing the locations in the neighborhood. You should see that they're really, really close, and those are the valuations of those properties, or at least the notice values. We did have one sale that we wanted to point out. It's at 30 Mazatlan. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm on the next page, I believe. I'm on the, it says, it's the page after the map.
There you go.
There it is. So this is the market sale. And I just wanted to point this out mainly for land valuation purposes, because I do believe that, this is a late 2018 sale and it's got a 2019 build on it. So obviously whoever bought it intended to either tear down what was there or buy it only for land value. And I just want to point out that land value as calculated by the district is $228,800. That's on the rolls for that amount. However, it sold for 175,000. So I think there may be a discrepancy in the in what the the noticed market value for the land as opposed to the actual market value. Maybe a difference there. But I don't think it's a good comparable for the improvements, because I think as of the sale date, there weren't any improvements. And if they were obviously not counted towards the sale price. But you can see the location of the sale on the next page on the map. Actually, the next page after that. Yeah. You can't see it on your screen. You may have to go down a little bit. Yeah, there we go. So, and you can see the size and location of it, which is very consistent with the subject as well. It's on the canal, but not on the end of the canal, and roughly the same size. Okay, so I'll kind of speed it up here. The next page is I just wanted to show you what the market's doing right now and what it has been doing for the previous 6 months as of January 1st as well.
Yes,
Excuse me.
Yes.
Your 5 minutes have run out. Did you?
Could I use that 2 minutes that I didn't use for cross-examination?
Sure.
Thank you. So the next page is, I just wanted to show you some listings that are out there. Things are having to be reduced. Initially listed in 2018 for $625. It's still out there as of May of 2020, and it's been reduced to $599. It's still not moving. These are the pictures of that listing right there on the next page. And if you scroll down, you can see another picture there. In the next page, you see it's a really, really nice house. On the next page, I'm trying to speed up here. There's another listing for $500,000. It's been out there for a while. It's 300 square feet more than the subject. Next page, you'll see this one is a really nice house too. It's in the neighborhood, 4 bedrooms, 2 baths. Next page, you'll see that this thing has been listed since 2016. If you'll scroll down, you can see the full page. But 2016, 2017, they've moved it up, they've moved it down, and it still won't sell. And then on the next page, you'll see the homes that are in the $600,000 range in this neighborhood are not selling. They've been on the market, and these are the days they've been on the market. And you see, some of them upwards, over a year, that are just sitting there in the $600,000 range. So this one, the subject being a new property, I don't believe that if it were to sell, and it's not listed, it would not sell for $643. I think you'd probably have to get it down into the 5s before it would move. And I think that's probably consistent with the market, not only today, but also as of January 1st. Thank you.
Okay, so now the, excuse me, the district gets a 2-minute cross-examine, and then a 2-minute rebuttal.
I just want 4 minutes. I don't have a cross-exam.
Got it.
But I may need a little bit of time.
Okay.
So I don't remember everything that was said, but this data right here is the data that was talked about. If these are things for sale for over 600,000 and they're not moving, I would just like to point out that 3 of those are in Keel Lake Road. There's 11 of them up there. 1, 2, 3, 4. See the first 4 in the bottom one? Those are in the reserve. Those in the reserve at St. Charles Bay. It would be our opinion that or 1, 2, 3. I'm sorry, Curlew's. 1, 2, 3, and then the one at the bottom. So yeah, okay, 4. Copano Ridge, that's in Copano Ridge. South Point is in Cape Valero. Land's End is in Bahia Bay. 809 Palmetto is there's a Palmetto in Lamar. There's a Palmetto in Fulton. I'm not sure about that. Just start working your way back that way, Scott.
You're cutting out.
Okay.
You're cutting out.
Am I doing any better if I stand over here? Any better?
The video was stopping and the sound was stopping.
Okay, well, I'm gonna keep going, Ramona. We'll see what happens.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah, you bet. Go ahead and go up, Scott. I want to go to, I'm not worried about that stuff. Right there. Okay, 30 Mazatlan in PAX. Scott, can you open PAX? Don't put it on the screen and just tell me if that's the Curtis Construction house. Sales will be perfect. Yeah, so this is the house in 18 that Curtis Construction bought, and he has built a spec house on it. He did pay 175, and he did sell it on the 1st of 2020 for 677,000. In this comparison work that's being done here, there's a couple of things that I don't know. One of them is pretty important. Two things I would like to say. The Curtis Construction purchase of the land is not a land sale that we took that seriously. Some of these builders have pretty good options when they decide to buy something. They know people. If you want to find someone who gets a good deal on land, find a builder, and then they'll build a spec home on it. They got a low value on the land. They build a spec home on it. They sell it. All that's profit for them. It's just good business. The issue here is that depending on these numbers, that house is not complete in our system even. Sold the house, someone bought it before he even finished. In our system, we don't have it. So in the calculations, I don't know what kind of calculation we have going on here on an incomplete house. But it is true that it sold for 175. It's also true that it sold for 677 in January of 2020. And it's also true that it's not complete as of January. All of those things are there. So go to, I think something we should look at. Is it? Oh, okay, well, we'll see what happens. If you go to the unequal thing, point out the obvious, go up one more, Scott. Before, I may not have time to point out the other thing, we'll see. But you see this right here, that's 217? It's on a 3,600 square foot home. 100 square foot home. The price per square foot is gonna drop. The larger the house is, the price per square foot goes down. It beat, I'll stop.
Okay. All right. So, sir, you now have 2 minutes for rebuttal.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. On that same sheet there, he was trying to point out that the higher the square footage, the lower price per square foot. That's why on the next page there, we showed you that there was an adjustment that was made for the improvements per square foot. Because it was higher, we adjusted the square footage upward to compensate for that. Another thing that I'll mention is nowhere in the property tax code does it mention in the definition of market value that since a builder buys it, then they're going to get a better deal because they know people, and therefore it shouldn't count. What it does say is that what a willing buyer and willing seller on the open market is willing to pay for a piece of land. It doesn't delineate whether or not who that buyer is. And it's pure speculation to say that unless you have personal knowledge that that particular builder knew someone that had a good and got a good deal from it, that's just kind of that's a dangerous thing to say. Also, what I'll mention is that so therefore the price per square foot of the land value only and having it $175,000 when the subject is on it over $300,000 for the same square footage of land, I believe should be corrected as well.
Okay, and was that all you had to say?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so now we have the district closing at 1 minute.
the definition of market value that he gave is pretty legitimate. It is leaving out a reality that an appraisal district, when it's consistent that builders buy low and build spec houses on it in the area, McDaniel, Curtis, when they do stuff like that, an appraisal district has to be wise to it. If not, then the appraisal district is going to be adjusting values downward while other stuff is selling upwards. The bummer of this is that no one has only presented one land sale. So to prove the validity of the 175 sale, we would have needed to have, if we were going to say they are misrepresenting, the appraisal district is misrepresenting what market value truly is.
You can finish your sentence.
Well, if that's what we're going to say, then then you have to prove it. You have to prove it by saying this one sold at this one sold at this. Mr. Curtis actually bought within the market. That's how you prove that. We did not present the information to disprove it. Neither one of us presented that information correctly.
Okay. All right, and sir, now you have a minute for closing.
Okay, thank you. I guess what I'll say is that I have provided the board evidence of the market value of the land. As of right now, the district has failed to present you any other contradicting evidence of the land value. And therefore, it is their burden to show you, if they so wish, and if assuming that it even exists, because I don't know that it does, other land sales that justify a greater value. But what I have done is present you evidence establishing a lower value.
Okay, and is that all you have to say?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so now the appraisal review board gets 5 minutes for us to discuss and come up with the answer on that property.
Let me ask you a question. Sir, if I net all this out, if I look at the page that you presented, uniform and equal tax comparable properties analysis adjusted, which has the A through F on it, A through E on it, the bottom line subject uniform and equal market value 541,903. Is that what you're suggesting this property should be appraised at?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I understand. Thank you.
I have 2 questions. One of them is that 30, because these are all Key Allegro, the 30 Mazatlan, is that in a different unit of Key Allegro than the 6 Pelican?
Yes.
Okay, so 6 Pelican is in what unit?
3.
3. Okay, and 30 Mazatlan is in what unit?
1.
30 Mazatlan is in 1. Okay, can we see an aerial, because that's at the end near those apartments also, I think, but I'd like to see.
It's near Ventura condos.
I'm sorry, I meant
Yeah.
condos, not apartments. I'm
So
sorry.
yeah, we can show you 30 Mazatlan.
Could it have also been that the reason 30 Mazatlan sold for a lower price is it had a damaged structure on it that was a liability that Mr. Curtis had to pay money to get removed?
I think there was a slab there maybe when he purchased it. I can't remember exactly.
Okay.
I can tell you that. I'll be careful here. Much. You guys can ask.
That's not positive.
Yeah, that's Mazatlan. So there's the pole.
Okay.
And then
No, wait,
there's-
so show me, I need you to pull out a little.
Oh, that's the Key Allegro pool. All right.
There you go.
So what were you trying to find out?
Well, because,
Can I ask the question now, or are you done looking?
yes,
Yeah,
go
go
ahead.
ahead. Go ahead.
I'd like to know what the land value is on
Go
the
ahead.
property. the land value on property number 24927. It's right next door to the subject. And it's the square footage of the land too, please.
The land is 6,400 square feet. And the market value of the land is 307,200.
Okay, and can you look at the property number 24929? It's on the other side of that property as well.
24929?
Yes.
It is 6,400 square feet.
Uh-huh.
And the market value on it is $276,480. It has an adjustment on it.
Is that because it's at the end of the canal?
Yes.
Was that a yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. It is.
Oh, okay, thank you.
So,
Okay. What was I gonna ask?
So the house next door is,
The percentage of completeness, had it changed from from 19 to 2020 on the subject property?
on the subject property, Ramona?
Yes. The percentage of completeness, did it change?
It was 40% complete in 2019.
Okay. And it's 100% now, correct? That's what I read on the card. Yeah.
Correct. 100%.
Okay.
Because
All
that's
right.
more value changed.
So I see that the land is being treated exactly as the land next door to it,
yeah, $48 a square foot.
correct? And the percentage of completeness has changed from last year dramatically to where it's now a finished home.
And
What do y'all think?
change. That's where we see the change in value. The property stayed the same. It's the
Yes.
house. That's where the value.
Yeah.
Also, substantially below the market and equity.
Median,
values.
yeah, it's below both.
Substantially below the median equity value.
So it would seem to me that the property is fairly priced or fairly
Appraised.
sorry.
I think it's fairly appraised.
Ramona?
I have to agree.
Okay.
So I make a motion based upon, on account number 24928, and considering the possibility of an incorrect appraised market value, and considering the possibility of an appraisal ratio exceeding the median level of the appraisal, that the 2020 value for the property of $643,710 is appropriate and remains for the 2020 value at $643,710.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, sir. You'll be receiving a document in the mail confirming it.
Sir? Hello? Mr. Barkus?
I think he left.
Yep, he's gone.
Okay.
Didn't say goodbye.
Right. Our next phone number here.
Okay.
How many called in?
Yes, we have two.
So which
Thanks.
It's gonna be
one's next?
693, account 24994.
Well, there we go, all the way.
Yeah.
And remember, Kathy, if you go all the way out and then go all the way back in, then it won't keep flashing those other documents.
Okey
Which you
dokey.
guys were doing?
You got the protest form in your hand?
I got the affidavit in my
Yes.
hand.
It's
Scott, will you
693.
look at this one and tell us
Let me,
what
let
was
me
checked?
start on, let me
Okay, take your
let
time.
me,
It's okay.
finalize this thing.
Which one was one 693?
All right, I show only incorrect appraised market value.
Okay, that was just checked on the affidavit also.
Okay.
And he was looking at the protest form, right?
I'm looking at,
Yes.
Incorrect market value on the others.
so Ramona is still here.
You ready?
So we got two people waiting
Right,
here.
so it's this phone number.
Okay, this phone.
I can call it out to you.
Timothy Locker?
229
One.
1141.
I'm gonna make that person.
Timothy Locker?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay,
And
Mr.
he-
Locker?
Hey, good morning.
Morning, this is Charlie Powers at the Appraisal Review Board. How are you today?
Doing pretty good. How are y'all? Busy?
Busy. Bear with us for a minute. We're going to go through some administrivia. We're opening a hearing on protest 20-693, account number 24994. This hearing is being recorded. We are the Appraisal Review Board that will be hearing your protest today. Myself, Charlie Powers, Cindy Duck, Kathy Hoffman, Robert Dayton, and Ramona LeBlanc via Zoom. We do not work for the appraisal district. We are appointed to perform an independent review of your protest. The Comptroller's Office provides an electronic survey for you to offer feedback about your experience today that may be accessed at the appraisal district office or online at surveymonkey.com/r/survey ARB. Survey is voluntary, but we do encourage you to take it. You also have the right to appeal our decision. Appeal information will be provided to you with our determination. In accordance with Tax Code Section 41.45H, all written material that has not been provided must be provided at this time. Timothy, I'm assuming that we have all of your evidence. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. The ARB members who consider your protest have not communicated with anyone about the protest and are signing affidavits to that effect. And I'll begin with I, Charles Powers. Do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 4166F.
I, Kathy Hoffman, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.6F.
I, Cindy Duck, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation Tax Code Section 4166F.
I, Robert Dayton, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66.
I, Ramona LeBlanc, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F, and I'm signing to that effect, and I'm physically located in Texas.
My name is Valerie Smith. I am witnessing Ms. LeBlanc's signature via Zoom. I'm a notary public, and I am physically located in Texas.
All testimony from all witnesses must be given under oath. Timothy, I'm assuming that you are under oath as a result of you signing the affidavit. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I will thus do solemnly swear affirm the testimony I shall present to the appraisal appraisal people, so Aransas County Appraisal District is true. Correct.
I remember you this time. Timothy, do you hold an appraiser's license in the state of Texas?
No, I do not.
Okay. Do you have handy the hearing procedure times chart? It was page 5 in the package that was sent to you.
Yes, I do.
Very good. We're going to follow those procedures all the way to the end. You get to choose. Do you go first or does the district go first?
Well, I'm fine with the district going first.
Okay. Great.
Timothy, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Our opinion of value on this place is what, 506, right?
Yeah.
And your opinion of value on this place is 477,
Yes, sir.
correct? Do you have it listed for sale?
No, we do not.
Would you agree to a value of 488?
That's close, I think. You know, it's the difficulty that I have is just seeing the increase year over year from 18 to 19, 19 to 20, with just substantial increases, and really not totally understanding the class unit of this property versus some of the comps. So
Timothy?
maybe we could.
Timothy? I'm going to defend our value at 506 unless you want to go to 488 and end this thing. Which one of
Let's
those
just
routes
make it
do you
easy.
want
Let's make it easy on everybody and go to 488. That's fine.
Okay, so sir, I just need to confirm, you accept the total value of your property on Aloha Lane at $488,000. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. That's correct.
Awesome. I make a motion on account number 24994, and considering the possibility of incorrect appraised market value based upon what I've heard from the appraisal district that was presented by the property owner, that the 2020 value of $506,080 be adjusted down to a 2020 total value for the property of $488,000.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Timothy. You'll
Okay.
be
Thanks for
receiving
your
a
time.
document in the mail.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Take care.
I like those.
Why didn't they do it before?
Case number 902, and it is count number 22864. And we will have some letters to read after this.
One box check, 2 boxes check.
All right, I'm gonna admit Mr. Acock or Miss Acock, whoever this is. Mr. Acock?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. This is Charlie Powers, Appraisal Review Board. How are you this morning?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Who am I speaking to? I see this is a partnership.
Jimmy Don Acock. I'm the patriarch, I guess, of the family partnership.
Okay, Jimmy. All right, bear with us. We got to go through a little administrivia before we get started here.
Certainly.
Opening a hearing on protest number 2020-902, account number 22864. This hearing is being recorded. With the Appraisal Review Board, we'll be hearing your protest today. Present at the table are myself, Charlie Powers, Cindy Duck, Kathy Hoffman, Robert Dayton, and by Zoom, Lona LeBlanc. We do not work for the Appraisal District. We are appointed to perform an independent review of your protest. The Comptroller's Office provides an electronic survey for you to offer feedback about your experience today that may be accessed at the Appraisal District office or online at surveymonkey.com/r/survey-ARB. Survey is voluntary. We do encourage you to take it. You also have the right to appeal our decision. Appeal information will be provided to you with our determination. In accordance with Tax Code Section 41.45H, all written material that has not been provided must be provided at this time. Sir, I'm going to assume that you have all of your evidence with the affidavit. Is that correct?
I believe you do, yes.
Okay. ARB members who are considering the protest did not communicate with anyone about the protest. Signing after to that effect. I will begin with I, Charles Powers, solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 4166F, and I'm signing to that effect.
I, Kathy Hoffman, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F.
I, Cindy Duck, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F.
I, Robert Dayton, solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F.
I, Ramona LeBlanc, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of Tax Code Section 41.66F, and am signing to that effect. And I'm physically located in Texas.
I'm Valerie Smith. I'm the notary public who is witnessing Ms. LeBlanc's signature via Zoom, and I'm physically located in Texas.
Money from all witnesses must be given under oath. Sir, I'm assuming you're under oath as a result of the fact that you signed the affidavit.
I am.
Okay.
I, Ray President, solemnly swear or affirm the testimony I shall present.
Sir, do you hold a Texas appraiser's license?
No, I do not.
Okay. Do you have in front of you, or can you find the hearing procedure times chart? It was.
I do.
Very good, sir. Then you can see that there's two ways to go here. You can go first, or the district can go first. Which would you like to do?
I choose to go first.
All right. Then you have 5 minutes.
And I begin now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Good morning. My name is Jimmy Don Aycock. I represent Aycock Family Limited Partnership, and we're talking about a piece of property that's on Palmetto Point Road out in Holiday Beach. Basically, the property had an older house on it that was lost to Hurricane Harvey, rebuilt, and I believe you have in front of you most of the pertinent facts there, I believe. We actually paid a premium to get back in a hurry. We paid $219,994 to have the house rebuilt. As you can see there on the documents I provided, the contract pages provided to confirm that price. And it was completed in late 2018 rather. In 2019, the appraisal value was placed. We didn't challenge it, although it was higher than what we'd paid for the house. And we believe the first item is that it's appraised high based on actual cost. An identical house is one of the comparable properties that I've used. It's the house at 72 Newcomb Bend Road, following down that same sheet there that I provided. The house is on the roll for $200,630. We believe the house was built for around $200,000 by the same contractor using exactly the same floor plan They even followed our color scheme on the interior and exterior of the house. And while we don't have full access to that contract, we do have reason to believe that it was around $200,000 for the construction of the house. The third property that I presented there is 437 Palmetto Point Road. It's a adjoining property. It's similar, higher standards. It has more than 500 square feet. The structure's on the roll for $224,690, which is less than our smaller structure next door. And that's basically my presentation of the comparable properties and the belief that the value of the house is overvalued. And I'll yield my rest of my time.
Okay.
All right, so sir, now the district has 2 minutes to cross-examine and 5 minutes to present.
I understand.
I don't have a cross-examine, but I may need a little bit of time. So
I'm just gonna put.
Okay, I may use close to 7 minutes.
I'm having difficulty hearing, please.
Yeah, can you hear me? Let me stand over there closer to the mic. Jimmy, can you hear me now?
Yes, that's much better. Thank you.
Yes, sir. You bet. Under protester equity and market, I want to just quickly look at sales grid and the equity grid that we have, just to draw your attention to the median equity value of 320 and a median sale value of 331 using comps in the area. But this, what I think is the most appropriate thing to do here is we can talk about sales and equity, which you guys, y'all have done this hundreds of times. We're going to go through and we're going to show you sales comps and equity comps in the area, and they're going to spit out these numbers. What is probably most appropriate here is to go to his evidence because it's interesting evidence, really. If we go to Picto and we look at his property, which is 22864, you guys get a look at it there. You see it right there? There's his property. So what's the class house? What do we have on the property card? What's the class of this house? A 5FB?
Yes.
5FB. Let's go look. Yeah. 22052. I'm making some assumptions here that he's right about some things, and I want to dig into that house. That's the house that his is comp number 172 Newcomb Bend, and it, it's kind of the same thing, or almost identically the same thing. So I think there's maybe some different porches, or we may not have it perfectly identical, but let's look at the class of that home, Scott. That's what we need to know. Is that a 5FB also? Because that's also a brand new house. So the question of the day is did we class them the same? Because there's really no difference. I think he's right.
5FB is what we.
So we have the class right. So zoom out. I want the board to see something here because it's going to help you guys make a decision. Because I will tell you that I prefer to not make this decision. Because I'm not real sure. So give me a sec. This is that comp we just looked at, right? That's his comp, right? Comp number 1. His house, I believe, is 22864. Scott. He's that way. That way. There's that.
I'm sorry, I'm not hearing you again.
Sorry, I walked up to show him a map, just to show him the relationship between your house and the house on Newcomb. We can all say those houses are really close together. Those houses are comped the same. There's a little bit of a land value adjustment, but here's the deal. Here's the deal. I got to walk back up to the board, sir. I'll come right back. I want the board to understand something. When you go right here and you go north, you're going to hit Palmetto, Channelview, Sailfish, and Kingfish. We have 50%. We have a 50% adjustment, pushing his value up. That is not on these properties. It's a market adjustment that we make, and here's the reality. When things sell on these canals, the appraisal district struggles to be at market value. That's our struggle. Now, whether or not it's equitable or even makes sense for two houses this identical to be this close together with water attributes, that's a really tough pill to swallow. Because the answer is maybe that people would rather have their boat access than they would have their view, maybe. But I'm just letting you guys know that he's done a great job. This is what I would have done. I would have pointed out, not that I would have done a great job, I'm just saying, this is the approach I would have taken. This comp is very, it's a real thing. And it's here, and that one's over there, or wherever it's at, it's right there. That's a, you know, and what I'm getting at is the difference between here and here is 30% of improvement value. We have a 20% push on this house.
On the house.
On the house, and we have a 50% push on his, creating a difference in value. So I can prove our equity in our sales, but to do it, I'm not going to include that house. And that's what his point is. And I want to give some validity to it. I want to give some validity to that point. And I'll tell you guys this, when it comes to cost of a house, he put his contract in here. Our job would be really easy if we could just go to cost, because we wouldn't have to do market analysis, which is what takes up half of our year.
Right.
Is doing market analysis. If we could just go off of contract cost prices, man, it would be just a piece of cake around here. We'd be plugging in a couple of numbers and moving on down the road. Yeah, permits, that'd be gold, right? But we have to deal with this market analysis, which is what brings in these 20% adjustment here, 50% adjustment here. It's what makes our job difficult. And by proxy, it's what's going to make your job difficult, because I'm going to punt. I'm going to give it to y'all and say, I'm not real sure. You know, is it by market standards? Yes, we support the house value-wise, no problem. Do I like the way this thing lays out? No, I don't. I don't like the way this lays out.
And your market adjustments are based on sale?
They're completely based on cell activity. We struggle on these canals historically. We just struggle over here. I mean, you can look at the sales data and you can see, when you look at it, it's just people pay more than is reasonable, I believe. And it creates a problem. Yeah, my thing just beeped. I'll get to.
Well, and okay.
It's his turn, really.
Okay, so, sir,
Yes.
you now have 2 minutes to cross-examine and 2 minutes for rebuttal, but may I ask a question real quick before you do that?
Certainly.
Okay, on his protest form, and I almost asked this earlier.
I'm having trouble understanding you, ma'am.
On your protest form, you said that the value on your property, you put it at $262,000. Is that correct?
Yes.
And so, because the district is better at doing these numbers based upon some of the stuff we just discussed, would that be about where the number would end?
No, that's why we're here. Because if we go to 262, we're $70,000 underneath what our market says.
Got it.
That's the problem with this. That's why we're in this room. That's why sometimes we pass our stress off to y'all.
Okay.
And I'm offloading it.
Okay. So anybody else?
He needs his time.
All right. So, sir, now you get 2 minutes for cross-examine and 2 minutes for rebuttal.
Okay, I'm not sure which way I'm going to take it, whether it's cross-examine or rebuttal, but let me say that I believe that the up value, as you call it, is inappropriate. On a normal tide, the house that faces the bayfront also has boat access to the front of the water. Now, admittedly, on a really low tide, they can't get in there, but that house has both bayfront and boat access, and still is valued less than our house is. And I understand from discussion with the appraisal people that the houses on Channel View and Sailfish and those channel lots, as they said, sometimes have ridiculously high values, but I'm not sure that that's a valid market indicator. It's just somebody comes along and pays an unusually high price. As far as rebuttals, and I think I'm going to wait till they make their presentation to challenge their comps. So basically my upgrade comment is the main rebuttal at this point. It's the channel has only channel access, where the Newcomb Bend house has both waterfront view on a beautiful part of the bay, and nearly all the time has boat access as well. So I think the upgrade argument is not valid. With that, I'll pass.
Next.
Okay.
Okay, what's next?
Okay, so the district rebuttal.
2 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so in 2 minutes, the district would like to present its sales comps. Comp number 1 is on Bel Air. Comp number 2 is on Kingfish. Comp number 3 is on Channelview. And comp number 4 is on Newcomb Bend. Newcomb Bend is the property, is the place where this comp, his comp is from. That's the Newcomb Bend area. It's the Bayview portion of this side of Holiday Beach. The median value is 331. You'll notice that we used several different wet properties to get this. We went from Bel Air to Kingfish to Channelview to Newcomb. We got the whole wet area to come up with 331. Furthermore, put the Picto back up. The struggle that I have in this is an appraisal district doesn't like to have a break right here and have a different percentage that's close together. But we can only do with what we have the data to do. And so we stop. I would prefer that there was 50% here also. The reason I say 50% here and not less 30% here is because our sales grid is so solid at 330. It's just solid. We comped wet all over this area. We didn't just go pinpoint one little spot and then prove back to him. We used multiple streets, multiple sales. I think this is, there's some moving parts to this. There's a common sense approach that I think is valid. So I'm probably done.
Okay, so sir, now you get, excuse me, a 1 minute closing.
Okay, I'd like to make reference to, have they made their presentation of comps yet, or is that still to come?
They've done that already.
Okay, let me very briefly then say that their comp at 130 Channelview has twice the land I have, plus 200 square feet. Is an up design with a larger garage and only valued $9,000 more than my house. They're comparable at 108 Channelview, has 2.5 times the land plus 200 square feet. Is a much higher designed house. Is only 10,000 above. The comparable they use at 75 Newcomb Bend Road, which is, I understand, is a different up area, has the bayfront plus 470 square feet and is only slightly over my value. I think my strongest argument, if I can, is that I think I'm at least 20 to 25, maybe $30,000 over appraised. And with that, I'll pass.
Okay. So now the appraisal review board has 5 minutes in which we deliberate and come up with our decision on your property's value.
Thank you.
Tough one.
I would like to see a property.
Which one?
It was his second comp at 437 Palmetto Point. The number is 22860.
Do you want to see that on Picto, or you want to know the value of it?
Well, he said the house was similar to his.
So
If
So
I
I'd
may
like
correct, the number reference was not correct.
This is for us to
I'm sorry.
go over. So number 437 Palmetto Point is supposed to be close to his. I mean, close to the design of his house.
I think it's.
Can we see what it looks like?
Okay. You want to see the value, or you want to see the Picto?
Both. Do both.
Okay. The value on it we have is 338,690.
338,000.
Yes, correct.
Okay, thank you. And the land value on that, is that?
The land value is 114,000.
Okay. All right. And the square footage of the land?
It's going to be double the other one.
10,000.
I can tell you, it's 10,000.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Oh, okay. So it's just literally double.
Correct. All right.
Jimmy,
Uh,
is the canal usable all the time?
Jimmy Don,
Yes,
The canal usable all the time?
the canal at my house is usable virtually all the time. Yes, it's about a 4-foot channel.
Okay, a 4-foot channel. Okay, thank you. There's clearly a difference. I mean, for anybody who's a voter, there's clearly a difference between those two properties. I mean, one has 4 foot all the time, and the other one has dry land sometimes at low tide. You can't keep a boat up there. I mean, you'd have to build it up on stilts or something. Where in the canal, you can have your boat there all the time.
right.
It's a big difference.
He's saying for his house.
Yeah, yeah.
These houses are all valued higher.
Yes, and they should be.
That's a big reason why.
That's why. It's because people who have boats
is
want to
that
have
the
access
reason
to
why?
them.
No, the canals, you can't use them all the time.
What?
Canals, you can't use all the time.
Yeah, you can. 4
The
foot.
canal always has water in it.
Yeah.
Some of those canals get dry at low tide, I believe. Is that correct, sir?
Yes,
It said his didn't.
Do some of those canals get dry or low, very low at low tide?
not for all practical purposes. A normal fishing boat can get in there all the time.
Okay. Thank you.
So you're able to
that
get
makes it-
in and out all the time?
Yes.
Canals.
Yeah, and that makes a big difference. That is the big difference.
It's a big difference one way, and then the other is the view. I mean, it matters what you want and what the market is, you know, for that. And it's probably more fisher people.
People are willing to pay more from the marketing point of view. What Ray has presented is that people are willing to pay more for canal access than they are for the view. What's the view out over?
And marsh, and then the bay.
Big marsh area there. I don't see any. Yeah.
Ramona,
You guys are gonna hate me. But what is the square footage of the house on 437 Palmetto Point?
Look it up. I'm not ignoring you.
Huh?
I'm looking it up.
Okay. What's an SU again?
Storage under.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
It is 1,224 square feet. Main area. Then there is also another main area, 480 square feet.
Which property is that?
So he has two main areas at that house, right?
That's correct.
And that comes up to 1704.
One is an enclosed area, it looks like.
I'm number 2 on his.
1704. And what's the class on that place?
Class 4.
So it's lower.
Yeah, I was just checking. Okay, the lower class. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, I agree with y'all.
Okay.
Okay, so, and Kathy, are you? I'll go whole time. Okay, so on account number 22864, and considering the possibility of incorrect appraised market value and the possibility of appraisal ratio exceeding the median level of appraisal, I make a motion that the property value for 2020, $312,680 remains the same, which is $312,680 for 2020.
I'll second.
In favor? Aye.
Aye.
Judy, thank you for your participation. You'll get a document in the mail.
Thank you for your time. Y'all have a good day.
Thank you, sir. You too.
Has he hung up?
Yes. Okay. We're moving on to the agenda to letters.
And the explanation on that one is Donna made a copy of the two handwritten things they handed in.
Front and back.
Well, there's like another two separate. So you can put it up there.
Got it. Okay. It is front and back, just here,
Oh, okay.
and then here.
All right.
Okay, so, and we all just, the handwriting on this is a little difficult for me to read, but I think I can, so just kind of bear with me. This comes from Shawteet family, S-C-H-A-U, well, okay, it S-C-H-A-U-S-T-E-O or E-E-T Family Trust. And I think it's Mark, and it's Shawteet, C-H-A-U-T-T-E-E-T. It's one person. I was in Colorado I was in Colorado, there's a word I don't know. My son, and I think it's a name, was sick. And I missed hearing. So I don't know. So I missed the hearing. There's a couple of words. I'm writing on the appraisal of an address on Sailfish, Holiday Beach. And testing the appraisal. The upstairs is not finished. It still needs tile, sheetrock, something, tubs, toilets, kitchen, cabinets, doors, sheetrock, etc. Something is open if need to look. You can call me, and then it has a phone number. Also, if you can find it possible, so I think this is 2 different accounts. Same person, I think, because that's Sailfish. And then this one says, if you can find it possible to look at, and it has a Highway 35 North, Rockport, Texas, Holiday Beach Cottage, and he has an F circled, is not finished at all. Inside is only rough building. Thank you. I miss sending my protest, but if could look, would appreciate. Was in Colorado with my 6th son.
Now, Shawty, I believe, was a missed hearing. That's correct.
Gave him
Yeah.
a hearing and he just missed it.
Right.
So they can reschedule one time?
No, when it's a missed hearing, they have 4 days that they can write a letter to you and request, say why they missed their hearing, and then request that if you would give them another hearing.
How you spell last name again?
SCH. I would just.
Yeah.
How is it spelled?
I remember this on our
It's
list
searching.
when you read the name. I remember seeing it. I couldn't pronounce it either.
Well, and if you spell differently to me, I'll do.
Yeah. Today is the 1st of July, right?
It is.
But this was received on the 29th. Today is I'm sorry, I'm just saying for the 4 days or whatever.
I want to know what to write down here.
But whatever you.
No, I can't. I have to put the date.
So how do you spell it? SCH.
I think.
Yeah, AU.
Yeah, AU, and then could be an S, or it could be 2 T's.
Not coming up with anything?
What was the address?
Maybe it's SA.
Right here.
You got it.
The Family Trust.
Yes. What was our hearing date on that? Just go ahead and click into it.
I don't know which one it is. That one. Of course. It was scheduled on the 22nd.
June 22nd.
What was it?
June 22nd.
And we got that on the 29th.
More than 4 days.
Like 4 days.
Way more than 4 days. And they didn't call or anything?
Does that go off a postmark for 4 days?
As long as they have it posted.
I don't have the postmark.
We don't have an envelope?
You sit it for 3 days, so it could possibly have made the 4 days, depending on when it came in.
Right. But we have it received as the 29th? There's a stamp on it, or? Because we're supposed to stamp it with the day that
But what does
it
it
came
say?
in.
What's the date on there?
29.
And that's new.
That could be the date it was received.
What, do we not have the envelope?
Let me go check with Donna. I'll be right back.
I think a postmark would be important.
What date did she, 22nd?
22nd.
Postmarked by the 26th.
How long does it take to get mail from Colorado? Does anybody know?
Probably a while.
Could take 2 or 3 days.
2 or 3 days? So, even if it took a long day, if it took 3 days,
If he postmarked it in time, then.
I'm just saying, if it's the 29th and 3 days less than 29, it's 26. 4 plus 22 is 26. He's starting to possibly creep in the window. Getting pretty close. Yeah, it's gonna be real close. I mean, that's an assumption. It's an assumption that it took 3 days. I don't know. Right now, the mail's tricky, actually.
It'll take forever to get.
I was gonna say,
Let's
yeah.
go to Corpus.
Some
taking a
things
while.
make it, but,
I know, you never know.
If you mail something to somebody in Corpus, sometimes, I mean, to somebody in Rockport, sometimes it goes to Corpus and then it comes back.
No, it goes to San Antonio now.
Oh, there we go.
It is good. It's June 26th on the envelope. We received it apparently on the 29th in our mailbox, but that's the date. So it is within the 4 days.
I think
Okay.
then we should hear,
well, I think we need to follow the law.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
we need,
Make a motion.
oh, I
let's
make
reschedule her.
based upon the postmark date being within the 4-day window, that we grant the Shanti Family Trust a hearing. Now, one other thing, because he mentioned 2 different properties, did he have them?
He could be comparing them.
Huh?
He could be comparing them.
Was there a protest on both properties?
No, I looked at all 3 accounts. There's only one.
Okay.
On the
Yes.
163 sailfish. He doesn't specifically say that he missed his hearing there, does he, in the letter?
Yeah.
Yes, he says,
Okay,
my son was sick and whatever, and then it, some word. I missed hearing.
okay. So if there's another property, what other properties does he have?
He has 2 other ones.
But like with the address or something, is there an address that's making you think it's another?
One was the
No.
cottage. One was the cottage on
He
35.
yes, he asked about, and I'm sorry, okay,
We just need to go to the original protest form, whatever
That's what
property
I
that
said.
was.
Robert,
that's-
I said, which one did he have a hearing on?
It was the 163 selfish.
Okay, so the 35 north, Highway 35 north, he asked us to look at it, but he didn't have a hearing for it. So
Right.
is that correct?
Yeah, just,
Well, no, I'm just
Just make-
verifying that we didn't have. he
That's
didn't-
not even one of his addresses.
I think he's using that as a comparable to his place not being finished.
Yeah.
So I think hearing his, and even if it was his property, we're past the hearing part on that part because he doesn't even have a protest on that one.
Right,
Yeah, I
and
just had
that's
the
what I
one.
was just verifying, Ramona, is that
Yeah,
another hearing. So, okay, so for the 163 Sailfish address, I recommend, or I make a motion that we do contact him and set up another hearing.
Second.
I second it.
Aye. Next.
Yeah.
Okay,
Next.
done. Dear Appraisal Review Board, I am writing this letter on behalf of DLL Finance LLC because our personal property did not get assessed this year. With the situation that we were put in because of COVID-19, mailing the return was a little difficult this year. We emailed the assessor back in March, asked if we could send our rendition return through email, and we did not get any reply. Then we decided to send it by mail. Next thing is the access notice did not come to us until after the appeal deadline. So there was no time for us to contact the assessor and to get our personal property assessed. After hearing these circumstances, I am asking if it would be all right that we get our personal property assessed this year, and then it says sincerely Scott Taylor. I don't have an address, so maybe can we see if she has this envelope too? And it was folded.
She brought me the other envelope, but I thought I had 3 letters there, so. This was it. So this would be the envelope that.
So my thought is that she contacted somebody and met in March. She should have followed through. She hadn't received anything right away.
I don't understand what she's saying. Her property hadn't been assessed. Is that what she's saying?
That's what she said at first.
It says she was talking about her business personal property at first.
Okay, I am writing this letter on behalf of DLL Finance LLC. Okay, so DLL Finance, do they
I
maybe
looked that
have
up
an
and they
account?
do have a BPP account.
They do have an account?
Mhm.
Okay, and it says, and they have a what kind of account?
A business personal property.
Okay, because our personal property did not get assessed this year, which I
So
guess
they
she
gotta
means.
Send in a rendition. They didn't send it in, or?
With the situation that we were put in, and they are in Johnston, Iowa. That's where this came from. With the situation that we were put in, because of COVID-19, mailing the return was a little difficult this year. We emailed the assessor back in March to ask if we could send our rendition return through email, and we did not get any reply.
Was the phone broken?
What, Ramona?
Was the phone broken? I don't know. I didn't have problems sending my rendition in, and I did 2 businesses.
What is a rendition return? What is she talking about?
It's your personal property, all your stuff inside your business. You were given an assessment of what you think it's worth.
You tell them what you think it's worth, and then they do. Okay, so then we decided to send it by mail. Next thing is the access notice did not come to us until after the appeal deadline. So there was no time for us to contact the assessor and to get our personal property assessed. After hearing these circumstances, I'm asking if it'd be all right that we get our personal property assessed this year. Now, do you know, by chance, did you check and see if y'all mailed it to this Iowa address?
Idea events.
P.O. Box,
Just be
The appraisal notice?
sorry, I'm sorry.
I'm sure they assessed them, but now they're getting penalized because it was late.
Shows the ones to the Johnston.
Is it P.O. Box 2000?
Mhm.
Do you show when you mailed it out?
The notices went out. Yeah, I think there was created on the 11th. I think they were mailed out on the 18th.
30 days in.
And then they had, yeah, that's when their 30 days started, whenever it was actually mailed.
Not to mention we sent them a remission.
Yeah, I was gonna say, there was an application generated for export in February.
Which must be why they called in March or emailed in March.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I'm just saying the phone was not broken.
It seems like they had the opportunity to call if property notice went out on the 18th
To that address.
to that address. Even if the mail was slow, it should have gotten in there, way less than 30 days.
Yeah.
On that, I really can't speak because I am not lying about this. People got their notices 2 weeks before we got ours. And that is the absolute God honest
I'm
truth.
just saying, I'm saying that she knew or that person knew they had an assessment due. They tried contacting by email. They didn't try to call. I know I mailed my stuff my stuff came in. So, and I can't say that I feel like no.
Denied.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so I make a motion based upon, I just don't think enough is here to grant them. And is a hearing what she's wanting? I mean, I just don't even know if that's, do you know, Scott? I mean, from the wording that he used, is that what he's wanting, is a hearing?
I don't know, I mean, just,
Because he says, after hearing these circumstances,
they're talking about, they're using vocabulary that's wrong. They're using the word assessed. We're not the assessor, we're the appraiser. That's okay.
Right.
The wrong vocabulary, that's okay. We assume they mean appraise. They want an appraisal done effectively. It sounds like they're questioning what happened, which is a protest. They're just not using the right words. They're just using different words.
Okay.
I'm just making that.
Because it
assumption.
says, would it be all right that we get our personal property, even if you put in, I mean, I get it, assess, it's easy enough to figure out what they mean, but would it be all right that we get our personal property value this year? I guess, so that's, you think they're asking for a hearing? I just don't know.
I don't know that. I think they're just asking for it to be appraised.
Yeah, we don't know what they want. I mean, their property was already assessed.
So
They have a value on that property.
I don't think there is any reason to grant a hearing on this
Just-
letter from Scott.
Request denied. That's all.
Okay. Everybody in agreement?
Yes.
Yes.
So there's no motion for that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
The
Is there a
motion is it's
second?
denied, I guess.
Is there a
I'll
second?
second that.
In favor?
I
Okay, to whom it may concern, referencing year 2020, protest ID, property ID 46506, June 30th, to whom it may concern, I'm writing this letter to request that we be given another protest meeting date. I mistakenly thought our meeting was today, June 30th, not the 29th. we were in the process of settling on the median value assessed by the ARB. Not get to complete this transaction due to missing the appointment. So is this really to us or is this to one of your guys?
Okay, could you find the moving board?
What's the name on it?
No, it says to whom it may concern, because it says, I am writing this letter, okay, another protest meeting date. Okay, I mistakenly thought our meeting was, okay, we were in the process of settling, which isn't what we do.
Right. But if they had a hearing. So 46506. Yes, they missed their hearing. So at that point, it's out of our hands. You know,
Okay.
whatever she's saying there, if they miss their hearing, the case is closed.
Were you talking to her, Ray?
Okay, now, but, all right, so here is my question on that. Their hearing was for the 29th. They missed it. Their letter was written on the 30th. Is that the 4-day rule?
Yeah.
So they fit that, so therefore
Yeah.
I make a motion, we grant a second hearing. Or a second hearing date.
Yeah.
On account property ID 46506.
Second? In
The
favor?
part about they were.
Aye.
It just,
Whatever.
are you sure because this name is familiar, but it may
What is
just
the name?
be from looking at it. Did they have a hearing and actually come to it?
They had one scheduled on the 29th and they were a no-show.
They
I
were?
believe that they
Okay.
called us that same day, right? Do you remember?
Because the name is George and Diana
Kara?
Sakara
Mhm.
on Water Street. Now, I remember that name just because it's different, but it must have just been on the sheets.
On the sheet.
Yeah,
Because you're saying we did not do the hearing, right?
yeah, it says no-show.
Okay. So anyway, that motion,
Next,
that's it.
that's it? Wow. Okay then, is there anything else? In that case, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
We adjourn this meeting.
Second, in favor?
Aye.
All right, y'all gonna have a great day.
Oh, no, we should do this again tomorrow morning.
Yes, 8:30, bright and early.
Oh.
So tomorrow, but
Good.
tomorrow's a full day, right?
Yep.
Correct.
I'll be here.
Tomorrow's Thursday.
Yeah. I'll be here in the morning.
Notice is here this time.
I think I did one.
Oh, did you do it?
Bye, guys.
Bye, Ramona.